So, today, Riot did something big. Riot released the details of the Assassin update, and among the assassins that Riot are reworking is Akali, my main. Today, I will be giving my opinion and insight into what I, as a Akali main, think about the changes. Let's begin. So, the changes. Her passive is now being changed from giving mid to late game spell vamp and pushing power to now empower 2 of her auto attacks. The first auto restores 10 to 170 HP with a 70% bonus AD scaling, and the one after that deals 14 to 70 bonus magic damage with a 45% AP ratio. So, let's start with what I like about the passive. I like the early game sustain the first auto gives you. It will be more useful early game than the measly 6% spell vamp the old passive gave. I like that along with the more consistent damage you get from your second hit. She will probably be slightly better in skirmishes early to mid game because of it as well. Now for what I don't like about the new passive. I don't like how they made the passive 2-hit. Realistically, think of how many times you auto attack in teamfights as Akali. Usually, you do your combo in either Zanya's, Shroud, or Say Your Piece. Now with the damage side of her passive locked behind a second auto, late game her burst will be delayed, and you'll be forced to R-auto, Q-auto animation cancel instead of normal Q-auto E, which, while it doesn't seem like much, it's still a decent nerf because that extra second you're spending not doing damage is another second that you're spending vulnerable for the enemy to CC you. And also I can't forget to mention that the second hit doesn't apply to towers, which will hurt her pushing power inevitably. Now over onto her E. They nerfed the cooldown of it mid to late game, they buffed the base damage and AP ratio slightly, and changed the AD ratio to bonus AD instead of total, which is objectively a nerf. At the moment, at mid game, you'll have around 80 base AD as Akali and 40 from Gunblade. The current ratio is 60% of total AD, so mid game your E will do an extra 80 damage just from the AD you get from her and Gunblade. With the new ratio, you'll only do around 30 extra damage with your E, but the base damage has been improved to make up for this. But still, this will be an overall nerf to her E and late game wave clear, because her wave clear will be gutted as well, since the cooldown is 3 seconds at level 18 instead of 1. So I can kinda see why Riot nerfed the cooldown, since the changes will nerf the tank build and make it worse, thankfully. But I still don't see how Riot couldn't find a way to nerf Tank Akali while keeping AP Akali good. Now, lastly, to her ult. They gutted this. Plain and fucking simple. They halved the AP ratio, they gutted the base damage, and made the cooldown 2 seconds across the board instead of having it be reduced half a second each level. Rito why? 50 damage is literally less than an auto attack at level 1. And level 6 is supposed to be her power spike. I do not like what Riot did to this, and I think it's an absolute over nerf. The only thing good about her ult change is its new icon. Bring the music back. So that wraps up her abilities. Now on to my final thoughts about the changes. I'm sad that Riot nerfed her late game sustain and gutted her ult, but I'm still interested in seeing how the changes play out once she hits live. The damage nerfs might be slightly mitigated by having a better mid-game, but as an Akali main, I can speak for most of us by saying that we don't pick Akali for the early game. We pick her for the insane level 7 power spike you get after Revolver. We pick her for the huge amount of sustain you get late game. We pick her for the intense damage you can put out on carries, and we pick her for the amount of late game pressure, mobility, and carry potential she has. All Riot did was nerf her and make it a little bit easier to survive early game. Riot lied to our faces when they said they would cater the rework to Akali mains, and if Riot actually tried to appeal to Akali mains, they fucked up big, and this serves as an example of how out of touch Riot is with their community. Now, just for reference, I'm going to show you what a master tier Akali combo looks like and then compare it to the new version. Now, I have to put a disclaimer up that this isn't the objectively new Akali combo. It's just, as an Akali main, that's the combo that makes the most sense to me, because my mindset is I'm gonna go in and burst down the highest priority target as fast as I can, and that combo, R auto Q auto E, seems to be the fastest way of getting your second auto off while also doing your full combo. But, as you saw, it's a bit slower, it's a bit more clunky, and I don't know, I'm just kind of mad at Riot right now, but we're just gonna have to see what happens. So that's about it for this spotlight, I guess. Feel free to discuss shit in the comments. Let me know if you main Akali, if you like the Akali rework, if you think it's good, bad, trash, ways to improve it. I certainly have my own opinion on what could be improved with the rework, but I'll save that for another video. So, my name is Logan, aka Frostfire, aka Filthy 100k Akali main, who probably won't be playing Akali anymore, and I'll see you in the next video.